Welcome to All In with Allie podcast, the podcast for business owners and entrepreneurs that are ready to create the life and business of their dreams. I am so happy you are here. And speaking of you, how are you? How are you really doing right now? Because as I record this, it is March 29th. 2 days out from the latest school shooting, as far as I know, which happened 40 minutes from where we live, 40 minutes from where my child goes to school in Nashville at Covenant School. And I'm not doing that great. I'm sure, like many of you, I'm tired. I'm deeply, deeply upset and saddened. I'm scared. I'm angry. I'm confused. I'm all kinds of things. And to sit here and record this took some serious compartmentalization. And I want to say this too up front at the very top of this episode, just in case, before you skip this, because I'm sure when this goes out, it's going to be a week out from this, from the Nashville shooting. And you're probably like in a place where your head's going to explode if you hear one more stance on politics or gun violence or our healthcare system. So this episode is none of that. I'm not going to discuss or debate any of those things. This is not a depressing episode. I prayed and I asked, like, what can I bring to the table right now? Like, if I were to help in any way, like if I could do anything to actually help the situation right now and help you make a lasting change that would change the course of all the decisions that you would need to make and the choices that are available to you as a human, as a business owner, as a parent, possibly. What could that be? And that's where I got the idea for this episode. And that's how to make money. That's what I bring to the table through the modalities that I know how. So this episode is a call to action for you to do you and take care of you first. Okay? And please don't take this as like, we don't stay mad. We don't, or that I'm saying like, look away, or forget what's happening. I'm not saying don't vote, don't lobby, don't attempt to be a force for something better in this country outside of yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying it's like the oxygen mask metaphor, like if you're on a plane and the oxygen masks come down and something's happening on the plane. If you focus on other people first and try to put their masks on and you can't breathe, you are a force for nothing. You can't help anybody. You got to put yours on first, because if you can put yours on first and you can breathe and you can think, then you can focus on other people around you. And what is happening now, what's been happening, I mean, this isn't a new thing, what's happening in our country, but it's a very similar vibe, right? If you can't even take care of yourself or your family, right? If you are having to make certain choices because those are the only choices available to you, you're not going to have the energy or the attention span or the knowledge or the resources to help anybody else. And newsflash, But everybody else, especially politicians, have their own motives, their own agendas, and self-interest that 9 times out of 10 will always be put in before yours. Every single time. So, and if you question that, which I don't think anybody is at this point, but I mean, look at our food industry and the ingredients that are allowed to be in our food, like our kids' food. It's insane compared to like EU standards. It's really, really crazy. Look at Big Pharma and what's being prescribed like freaking candy to people. People are going to put their own agendas and self-interest in front of you before yours, especially those who are in control. Most people are bought, and it's a problem. So how we get out from under that is we get into a position where we can afford freedom of choice, freedom to, like I said, afford the type of food that you want to grow and buy, live in the places that you want to live, put your kids in schools, or, get the type of education that you want your children to have. The freedom to support the causes and the people that you want to support that maybe can actually make the type of change that you want to see in the world. And the only thing that gets that level of freedom besides status is money, right? It's to become very rich. Sidebar, I had just mentioned school and where you want to put your kids to school. And I had already, prior to this latest incident on Monday, I basically decided that I'm homeschooling the boys. And, we're starting the process of figuring that out. And what happened on Monday pretty much put the nail in the coffin for that. Now I realize I realize you may not want to homeschool your kids, and that's fine. And I'm not making this like a fearful thing, like we need to take all of our kids out of school. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying more than just what happened on Monday. We have desires to travel. It's a decision that we've already been thinking on. But I realize that a lot of you right now are in the boat where you're seriously considering other forms of education like homeschooling. And a friend of mine who many of you know and follow, Rachel Van Clive, she is at Creighton Cottage on Instagram. She has 4 kids and she homeschools them all. 2 of her kids, her daughters, are younger, so I don't know if they're in school yet, but she's always homeschooled her boys, and she's going to continue homeschooling the girls too. So anyway, they have multiple businesses and Airbnbs, and she has figured out in terms of that. So I messaged her and I asked her if she'd be willing to come on the podcast and spill the tea for us and just give us all of the details, the nitty gritty, the pros, the cons, how she makes it work with our schedule, all the things. And I got questions I put a question box on Instagram yesterday as I record this. And the questions are so good. You guys send in so many incredible questions. So as soon as I can sit down with her to record, we're going to get that up ASAP. I won't wait till a Monday or something. We're going to get up as soon as it gets edited, we're going to put it live. So that is coming as soon as I can sit down with her. She's out of town. So as soon as I can make that happen, that is coming. So anyway, freedom of choice, right? Freedom to afford that can afford you the time to give a damn about anything other than your family. Because if you are stressed about your kid being in a school that isn't protected in some way, or bills not being paid, or crime in the area that you have to live for some reason, or a medical treatment that you need, etc. If you're stressed about those things, you are beholden to an entire system, whether you like it or not. You're a pawn in somebody else's game that benefits them and their values and their standards, right? So until you become rich, you remain under the thumb of an administration that may or may not have your family's interests at heart. And right now, we live in a day and age where we have so many other options, right? The old paradigm of you get the typical 9 to 5 unless you have some sort of fancy degree, and those being like the real only options for most people, those aren't the rules of the game anymore. We have so many other options and ways to make money, true money, money that can actually make a difference. And at the very least, again, make it to where you're not the pawn, where you're powerless. I remember growing up and just like our family dynamic, that's very much what it felt like, powerless, because you didn't have a choice in the matter. The only choice and power that you had is what we could afford, and what we could afford was not much, right? Like we had to take the foods on the food stamps. We had to take the food that was served at the school. We had to go to that specific school because it was public and that's just the one that we were zoned for. We had to play by all of the rules and just kind of fall in line because there was another other option to do it. There was nothing else. It was a different time, but nowadays it's not like that anymore. There are so many ways to make the level of money that you need. And there are so many resources that will share so many, different avenues of ways for you to create the level of money that you desire and need to create to buy that level of freedom. There's many different ways to do this. Whether it's investments or Airbnbs or, for me, that avenue is online business. And that's what we're going to talk about here. But starting your own business or getting certified or accredited to do something else. And, there's, working from home. There's so many different avenues to work from home and to stay home with your kids if you need or want to do that. It's just, the options are there. It's just, are you taking advantage of them? And do you realize that even if you haven't yet, that's an option available for you today? You can always change your mind. Just because you got a degree in this very certain thing and because you have this job in this very certain thing doesn't mean that if it's not what you actually want to do, and if it's not affording you that type of freedom that you need for your family or want for your family, that you can't make a change and you can't choose differently. So there's lots of ways to be, quote, rich. And my way is online business. That's the way that I do it. That's the way that I teach. This is the avenue that I know, and I know really freaking well. So in this podcast, I am going to outline for you a system and an offer suite that can very easily, in my opinion, earn you at least $20,000 a month at the most basic level. For some of you, $20,000 a month would be life-changing. For others of you, it's not quite enough. And the good news is the system that I'm going to be teaching you can be edited and is designed to grow over time based on the amount of people that are buying from you and the price points that you set for each of these things, which is really neat. So just again, at the most basic level, I'm going to be teaching you how to make $20K a month in this podcast. But I'm going to show you like how quickly and how easily that system can shift to almost $84,000 a month, which is on track for $1 million in a year, and go up from there. So that's what we're going to talk about. And I'm about to outline for you right now. So again, if you want to take notes, this is an episode to do it. Or I have 2 resources for you if you need more support on anything that I talk about in this podcast. So the outline itself and the system that I'm going to be breaking down and sharing with you is from a masterclass that I just hosted called Pulling Money from the Sky. Right now, it's $333. You can get it right now instantly. And it comes with this whole framework. It comes with this Excel file that you can actually plug in your own pricing and your own offers and play. And it shows you how much money you'll be bringing in per offer and then add it all up, which is really cool. So you can just, you get that as part of it, plus a training on how to do the things that I'm talking about here. So I recommend listening to this first and then deciding if you want that document and if you want more of that training. If you have any question on how to sell these offers or, any of the framework and, if you're more beginner, or if you want to learn my way of launching and marketing, then I am also currently launching right now something called Vibes. It's brilliant timing. Monday, when all of this happened, was day 1 of launch of Vibes. So I was already planning on launching this. So it's really good timing. So anybody who's okay, I'm ready to give this a shot, or I know how to do this, but I want to learn your way. Vibes is that thing. And we have a ridiculous amount of payment options for it to make it as attainable as possible. So both of those are linked in the show notes, and you can message me at any time to get info on those. So the first thing here, some of you already know what it is that you sell. You already have an active business, an active brand, and you know, for the most part, what you want to monetize. If you are not there and you're okay, I want to give this a shot, then we first want to ask ourselves the question, what do you know that you can monetize? That's question number 1. Everybody has knowledge and wisdom and something that they can monetize, whether it's a framework, whether it's a strategy, whether it's a product in some cases, which if you sell a product, you'll just have to play with this framework to make it specifically for products, but it can absolutely be done. You can also teach other people who sell the product that you sell. There are ways to create offers around you teaching them how to do what you do is another way to think about this. But we want to know what do you know that you can monetize? What can you teach? And if there's nothing coming to mind, maybe you go get certified in something. What do you want to teach? What do you want to be known for? What do you want to help people do with this type of business? So then you would go and maybe it does require certification. Maybe it just looks like you mastered this particular thing yourself. And then once you master it, then you can turn around and teach other people how to do it. But we first need to start there. And then we want to build offers around that thing. And those offers are called an offer suite. So an offer suite is a set of offers that you have available most of the time. And typically they're going to be tiered in pricing. So you'll have your lower offers, your lower investment offers, and then depending on how many things you have in your offer suite, let's say you have 5 different offers in your offer suite. Then as you go up the ladder, like an offer ladder, you're going to go up in investment. And typically that's because those higher level offers are going to require or include more support from you, or you go deeper into the thing or whatever. So we're going to break all kinds of things down here. So you're going to create an offer suite, and these offer suites can look different for every single person. I'm going to be teaching a very basic offer suite framework, but truly the sky is the limit. You can create so many different offers, and in Vibes, every offer that I can think of, I put in the workbook so you can look and say, okay, I want to include this and I want to include that, and you can have fun with it. But with this, I'm giving a 5 offer framework, just to keep it simple, and because most people are going to use something similar to this. What I love about an offer suite and this framework is because you do have your offers at different price points that increase as you go up the suite. This means that you can take care of probably max amount of people in your audience, because there's always going to be like the very beginners or the people who don't or aren't in a position to invest in your higher ticket offers. And then you're going to have the people that do have the money to invest, or who understand the value of investing in private coaching from you, or a mastermind with you, or whatever, and will go and get that money and happily invest. So you're going to have people in your audience who are that full spectrum of what price point and level of support that they're looking for. So when you have a good, robust offer suite, you are able to help the most amount of people. Now, if you are wanting to create more of maybe a boutique business where all of your offers are higher ticket, or you have very few offers, then they would need to be high ticket, unless you have an insanely big audience and number of people following you and wanting to buy from you. And in that case, you can create more scalable low ticket offers and do it that way too. So again, lots and lots of different options. But I digress. So let me break down the offer suite that I'm going to be mapping out for you, because I'm going to be teaching you in this five of the most standard offers at different price points. That's going to equal different amounts per month, right? I'm going to show you like the 20K way and then like the 84K way. And you'll see how those can vary. Okay. So the framework that I'm going to be teaching you, the 5 different categories here. We're going to start with the first category, which I combine courses, trainings, and masterclasses into one category. So courses and trainings are something like, 3 steps on how to do whatever, or your signature process on something like my Vibes offer is a course because it's multiple modules. It's delivered over a certain period of time. We go deep in this. It's very specific, and we go very, very deep in this program. So that's considered a course or a training. A masterclass will be something like pulling money from the sky, because it's shorter. We don't go as deep, but we cover, a very specific topic. And, it's kind of like a dip. Masterclasses can be all kinds of different things, but, pulling money, for example, it's like, I give you everything that I can in like a category, so for pulling money from the sky, I explain to you different offers and different price points, and how to like get your mind wrapped around the different price points. And that's where we go with that. But I can't get into the launching. I can't get deep into like how to create it. So where you would go for that would be the actual training. So we have our category: courses, trainings, masterclasses. That's one category. And that can range from low ticket to mid to even high ticket. Okay. All this is going to come together. So just bear with me. So that's your first category. The second category that I have that I would recommend for most people would be some sort of scalable offer, like a membership. So a membership is where people pay a certain amount over a span of months, or you can do it to where they pay one lump sum amount and they get a certain amount of time in the membership. So with my membership, for example, if you were in there, you would get instant access to all of my programs that I have. Plus, we do monthly coaching. Plus, you would get, because it's a 12-month commitment, you get all of the programs that I launch new while you're in the membership. So that's my model. And it's currently priced at, I think it's $555 right now. And it will continue to go up per month. But I know like Direct Sales Growth Community, the way that she does it is I think it's like $350 total. It's like $1 a day. It's something like that. You pay one lump sum. So you don't pay monthly, you pay it all at once, and then you get a year in her membership, which I really like that model too. But I wanted to keep, and what I love about a membership is it's attainable. You know, it's, you want to price it in most cases at a price point that can get the most amount of people in there. You know, that's a very easy hell yes for people. So some people may not want to buy the full program and pay all at once for that, but they want all of your programs and they're happy to pay, you know, a couple $100 a month for it. You know, and get everything with the membership. So anyway, your membership is more of like a scaled offer where we want to get as many people in there as possible. So that's the second category. The third category is what I call micromind and or intensives. So what a micromind is, it's like a small mini version of a mastermind. Mastermind's the next category, so we'll explain that. But a micromind will be a more intimate group of people, think 5 to 10 people, maybe even less in some cases, for a span of time. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 1 week, it could be 6 weeks. But typically a shorter amount of time where you focus on something specific together. Think of like a sprint towards some sort of transformation that you work toward as a small group. An intensive would be one-to-one, private coaching with a specific intent in mind for a very short amount of time. So like I've sold, my most recent intensive that I've sold is the double revenue intensive. So if you book this, then we work together for, or we have a 90-minute call together. And our whole goal is in that 90 minutes to take your whole strategy, all of your offers, and refine it in a way that at least doubles your current projected revenue, if not more. That's our goal. So I put those in a category. Okay. Because typically the price point of either of those are going to be higher, because even though it's a shorter amount of time, you're sprinting toward a transformation. There's something very transformative. And it's called an intensive because you work intensely over a very short period of time to get that. So it's almost higher in value because you're saving a ton of time. You don't have to work over it one-on-one in a 3-month container. We could do it in 90 minutes, or depending on however long it takes for you to do that for the person who's booking it. So we have your micromind and intensives. That's the third. The fourth category is a mastermind. And many ways to organize a mastermind, but a mastermind, what it is, as far as I'm concerned, is a group of people who are committed for a certain period of time to working together and vibing together, So like there's going to be the facilitator. So like I'm the facilitator of Muse, the mastermind. And then I have a cap of max 15 women, and it's a 6 or 12-month commitment. So I'm facilitating, I'm leading a lot of conversations, but also the women in there are forming relationships with each other, and they're asking each other questions, and they're giving opinions and perspectives on everybody else's stuff too. So it's not just me. I'm just the facilitator. I am the one that, people ask the questions to in a lot of cases, because I'm a few steps ahead of the women in the mastermind in terms of what I've built, but we're all working toward a common goal together. So you could have a very focused mastermind with a very specific intent and purpose. It could be more open and just, business related or mindset related or whatever your thing is, but that would be a mastermind. And typically that's going to be priced higher ticket because the level of support that you are giving in a mastermind versus a course and a training is likely going to be vastly different depending on what you include. So just to give a contrast here with my mastermind, we have daily Voxer. So I'm popping in there during the week, every single day, multiple times a day to answer questions and give coaching there. We do a weekly hot seat call where we all meet face to face on Zoom. They get access to all of my programs. They get a one-on-one with me every quarter, plus an emergency one-on-one if they ever need it. And they get an interview on the podcast to gain them more exposure. So that is like an insane high level amount of support. Thus, it's priced where it's priced. And then the only thing that offers more support past that would be my one-on-one packages. And that's where, over a certain period of time, you could have like a 3-month package, a 6-month package. You could have a 30-day package, a 1-week package. It doesn't matter. But that's 1-to-1. They get all of your focus, all of your attention, and personalized support on whatever it is that they're working toward. So that should be your highest package. Anything that's private, that includes one-on-one. Okay. So again, 5 offers in this practice offer suite. You can add on, you can take away, you can do whatever you want. You do not have to do one-on-one. You do not have to do a mastermind. You don't have to do any of these, but you would need some sort of mix of these to equal to the amount of revenue that you want to make each month. So this is what I do. This is the mix that I use. So we have our first category is courses, trainings, masterclasses. That truly could be 2 separate, it honestly should be 2 separate categories because courses and trainings are 9 times out of 10 going to be priced higher than masterclasses. And oftentimes masterclasses can be a funnel into your courses and trainings. So this could be 2 different offers, but just for simplicity purposes, I kept it 1. The second is your scaled membership type offer. Third would be higher level short sprints like microminds or intensives, higher ticket. Fourth would be some sort of continuous group coaching offer like a mastermind. And then the 5th would be a one-on-one package for a certain amount of people each month if you want to offer that. All right. So I am going to pull up these numbers and break them down for you. Again, if you want this calculation, this Excel file, we have all of these mapped out at different price points with the different numbers of spots. Like each of these 5 categories, you can insert. We have price points already put in there. So each of these offers we have broken up into 5 spots, 10 spots, 30 spots, 50 spots at different price points that range from $111 to $10,000. But you can, you can plug in your own stuff and play with these yourself. So this is accessible in the Pulling Money from the Sky Masterclass if you just want to see this and access this for yourself. But right now, let's break down this is actually $23,990 model using this specific offer suite formula. Okay. So now you're going to have to work your way up to this, and everybody has different types of businesses and different levels of trust and engagement with their audience. So right out the gate, if you're new, you're not going to start next month making $24,000 unless you just have the people there that are like ready to buy from you right now. It's not impossible. But my point in saying that is if you're not quite there yet, if you're a little bit newer, that's okay. You can work up to this. And then if you are already an established business and you're not making this or you want to make more, then you just play. It's just a numbers game at that point. And and if you're newer or if you don't have any of these offers, you're going to want to launch them one time and then keep them as part of your offer suite. All right. So let's break down the first model, which if you were to do this, what I'm about to share with you, at these specific price points or something similar, with these amount of spots for each of these offers, this would earn you right under $24,000 a month. Now that's before taxes, before your expenses, just gross. Okay. So this is what I have. And when I was making this model, I wanted to make it what I consider like so easy to do. So easy. Like once you have an understanding of how to launch, once you build a brand for yourself and some credibility, you don't have a ton of people in your audience. The max number of spots that I have in this model is 30 spots. So like I was trying to think like what, even like beginner level, what would this look like and what price points would this look like to make a really beautiful revenue each month? And this is what I came up with. So starting with that course training masterclass, let's say you create one of those things, whether it's a masterclass, a training, or a course, and you price it at $111. So this is more likely going to be some sort of like maybe mini training or some sort of higher level master class, but you price it at $111 and you sell 30 of those. That's going to earn you $3,330 right there. Okay. Now, let's say you have a membership and you work your way to a membership over time. You price your membership at what I consider a very attainable price point of $333 if what's in there is good and people actually want it, which of course it is. $333 a month. And let's say you eventually get 20 people in there, that's going to earn you $6,660 per month just from that offer. So that's going to be recurring, which is really cool. So your mastermind, your one-on-one packages, your mastermind, and your membership, these are likely going to be recurring numbers depending on how long that package is. So if your membership is over 12 months and you have 20 people in there at $333, that is an automatic almost $7,000 right there just from your membership. Okay. So let's say each month you decide, okay, in addition to the masterclass or the training that I'm doing, in addition to the membership and all my other offers, I'm going to offer just 3 intensive spots. So 3 90-minute calls on a very specific focused thing. You're in charge of $1,000 each. So that's $3,000 right there. In addition to that, you have an ongoing mastermind. So this is your group program. It could include some one-on-one support, or it could just all be group, totally up to you. But let's say you have 5 spots in that. They pay also $1,000 each. And actually, yeah, let's just keep it at $1,000 a month. So there's $5,000 recurring monthly right there, just from that offer. And then you also want to include some spots for private clients. So you have your one-on-one package available. Let's say you only want 3 private clients a month. You charge $2,000 because it's your highest ticket offer. That's $6,000. That could be just for the month or recurring depending on how long your packages are. Okay. So again, just with those price points, which the highest price point right there is $2,000 and the lowest is $111. I think everybody, depending on where you're at, could totally get behind all those price points. That right there is $23,990 for the month. And the most spots that you need to fill is for that 111 offer, the masterclass or the training, 30 spots. Your membership will eventually get to 20 and more. And then other than that, you just need to book 3 intensive spots, get 5 people in your mastermind, and have 3 people work with you privately. These are all very attainable, doable numbers at all very attainable, doable price points. Even if you are beginner, like very, very beginner. Okay. Now, I wanted to give a model that is a little bit different for somebody who's a bit more advanced. So you've been doing this for a little bit longer. You're more comfortable with higher prices. And even these prices, I kept the prices still what I consider on maybe a lower to mid end. But the big change here is you have more people in your audience. I kept mastermind the same. I kept one-on-one packages the same in terms of spots. But let's say you get to the point where you put out a masterclass and you get 100 people in and you charge $111 for that. That would be $11,100 just from that 111 offer. And then you have a membership. You've been offering it for a while, or your audience is just super turnt and excited to be in there. You charge, again, $333 a month for it. You get 100 people in there. That is $33,300 just from that one offer right there. You could just have a membership. Just have a membership. Now, obviously, you'd need to include things in the membership, but just the membership alone, $333 a month per person. You get 100 people in there. That's over $30,000 a month, just that one offer. Your micromind and intensives, just 3, because I don't want you to sell all of your one-on-one time. So I wanted to keep these low. 3 intensives a month, or 3 people in a micromind a month. But we're going to charge $3,000 because maybe you're a bit more advanced. You're a bit more comfortable charging that. So there's $9,000. Your mastermind, let's keep it at 5 people, but you're also going to charge $3,000 because, again, you're advanced, you're more comfortable with higher prices. There's $15,000 probably recurring. In your one-on-one package, just 3 people a month, but you're charging $5,000 because you're a bit more advanced. There's $15,000 right there. So all of that together puts you on track for $1 million year, $83,400 before taxes. Okay. I just wanted to show you because honestly, if I had this, I don't know. I think depending on the perspective that you see things and depending on like the type of learner you are, it's only recently that I'm realizing I'm a very visual learner, and I realize that I'm teaching this to you with my voice on a podcast, okay? Or even if you're watching the YouTube video, you can't see what I'm talking about. So if you are a visual learner, get this graph. But something about seeing this in this way, it makes me very, very excited because all of these numbers over time will grow. The spots that you fill will continue to grow over time. The price points that you're comfortable selling and offering each of these things will continue to grow over time. So this is a model that, and remember, all these things, you're going to launch them one time and then they're just going to be available. So you'll have a new course, a new training, a new masterclass each month, but your membership's going to be ongoing. Your microminds and intensives will be new. So those will be new things you offer each month. And then your mastermind and your one-on-one packages will be ongoing. And then anytime you open spots, you put a call to action out there that you have X amount of spots open for your mastermind. And then you fill those and you get those people back in those spots. But to see it laid out this way, and when you start plugging in different numbers, with like the numbers that make sense for you and your goal numbers, and you see what that can equal each month. This is monthly revenue. It makes me very excited because it's like, okay, this is substantial, right? Everybody requires different levels of wealth depending on what it is that you want to do. So 83, 84 grand a month may not cut it for you, but that's okay. You could do other things, right? This is just an offer model. This doesn't, maybe you have other things that also bring in recurring income, like a podcast with ads or anything, so many different options, but just this right here, you see, in my opinion, how easily you can get to that level of revenue with some mixture of offer suite. All right. So that's a model for what, right? Here's what you can have at the number of spots at a specific price point. That this is like what can happen. Now, in order to do this and do it well and like actually bring in that money, there's other things that you need to know how to do. One, you need to have a good money mindset to call in more money, right? We all have a certain level of money mindset that's going to keep us where we are until we continue to improve it and realize our worthiness and our capability, and that we can call in whatever we want. But you have to be able to think and act on the frequency of whatever that more is. So our money mindset's very important. Each of those offers that I outlined, you need to know how to launch and market those appropriately. It's not enough just to outline an offer. You can create the best offer in the world, but if nobody is paying attention to you, or if you don't know how to market it in a way that's going to make people want the thing, it's not going to do you any good. People have to want it and trust you enough to buy it. So you got to know how to launch these things appropriately. If you don't know how to do those things, Vibes, which is currently available now, that I'm launching right now, and it's always available evergreen, is a comprehensive training on how to do all of those things on the ideation, creation, launching, marketing, and mindset for the offers and revenue of your dreams. It's that comprehensive guide. So if you're starting from square one, Vibes is for you. If you are more established, but you want to make offers more in the way that I do and launch them in the way that I do, and like or have a proven model for launching, and all the ways that I do it myself, Vibes is that offer. If you join us right now, before we start on April 10th. So if you join us, I think the last day to join is the 7th. If you join us before then, you'll get in the live round, which means that you get 5 weeks of coaching with me. So you'll not only get the framework and the training, but also I'll be able to sit face to face with you on a hot seat with everybody else. And you get to ask your personalized questions based on your business, based on your goals. And I can help you in the creation of these offers and like for your specific business. So that's the perk of the live round. We also have VIP spots that include group Voxer coaching and a one-on-one with me. And again, we have several price options to make it as attainable as possible. So if you don't know how to do this, but you want to, please get in Vibes. Please, it'll be, and if you go look at the testimonials on the sales page, the amount of times people say it's the best investment they've ever made in their business. It's the best thing that they've done in their business. It's kind of crazy. So just go look at some testimonials and get a feel for those, because there are dozens of them. But either way, please, like, do you? Do you? Yeah, like I said, it's not just an option to be rich anymore. It's not just a fun idea. It's not a notion that's only available to a certain few. Being, quote, rich, which is going to look different for all of us, right? It's available to us all. And it's no longer just this fun notion or option anymore. It is critical. In today's day and age, it is critical, because only then can you, again, create this life that's in line with your values and what you actually, what actually is going to give you peace when you lay your head down at night. And only then, when you have that freedom, can can you then look around and help others? Not saying that you can't do that if you don't have that freedom. People do it all the time, but to like really be effective and help the most amount of people, it is those that aren't so stressed to the max and worried about their own family first that can then be the most effective to those around us. Okay. So if this was helpful for you, if you enjoyed this, please share this to people. Please get this framework out there. Let me know what you think. But more than anything, if there was an episode that you shared, let it be this one so we can hopefully have more people see that this is available to them. Obviously, not everybody out there is going to want to have an online business and do things in that way. And again, there are other paths and modalities for them. But for those of you who something about this is exciting to you, or you're already doing this in some way, hopefully this enlightened you of different ways to different offers to have and different price points. And it helped to show you what's truly available and possible for you. So you have so much more power potential than you realize. All of us do. But we have to take matters into our own hands in order to create it. Nobody's going to do it for us. You have to do it for you first. Okay. I love you. I'm sending you so much love. We're going to be okay. We're going to get through this. I'll see you next week or on the next episode, because I think we're going to start putting out 2 a week here very soon. So I'll see you soon.